Senator, regarding the decision made by the TEA today, you're in favor of it?
Yes, I am. And
Why?
I'm in favor of the decision because as the author of Senate Bill 1365 that restored the A through F accountability system in the state of Texas, the commissioner only has two choices at this point. He can either close Wheatley High School or he can bring in a board of managers. And the problem is not Wheatley High School. The problem has been long-term board governance at HISD. So he's making the right decision for the students, the parents, the staff, and the community long-term.
You know, but Senator, you're talking about a board that was elected, and now the democratic process just seems to be thrown out the window.
Well, this has been an amendment since Harold Dutton put this possibility into school education code in 2015. And as the second longest serving member on the Senate Education Committee, I've seen testimony year after year where board trustees came up and said, no one will help me with Kashmir High School. Kashmir High School was on the closure list for the better part of a decade. The board wouldn't help. We've had problems at Wheatley High School, but more importantly, there was a very critical TEA report in 2019 that really showed severe problems with 8 out of 9 trustees. And the only trustee that didn't have a problem was State Representative Jolanda Jones. Everybody else was had severe issues in that report. So HISD sued to prevent a takeover. And when they proactively said, we can't be taken over, that triggered a third court of appeals ruling, that triggered the passage of Senate Bill 1365, that triggered the Supreme Court ruling that cleared a way for the commissioner to make the decision he made. And again, the choice between closing one high school or doing the work that needs to be done by putting in a board of managers, he's making the right decision.
But the board itself has improved. HISD has improved. Wheatley High School, which went from an F rating, is now a C, which is passable. And the board went from basically an F rating to a C plus right now.
Well, and Jose, you have to remember the board was so bad that they fired Grenita Latham, hired Abe Saveda at a Mexican restaurant on a Sunday, and then turned around and fired Abe at a press conference on Tuesday and rehired, Grenita Latham. It's preposterously bad behavior. And that's what the takeover fight began in 2019, after nearly a decade of problems at a couple of the major high schools. And remember, it's not just high schools that have got this issue right now. It's the fact that we're looking at the feeder schools there and other schools that are not passing grade 2. And there's already been a conservator responsible for Wheatley. And that's part of the reason why it's a TA conservator that's helped raise the grade at Wheatley. So I'm very, strongly supporting the TA Commissioner Raff's decision, because it will get a better education product due to board governance issues long-term.
Now, your colleague, Representative Ron Reynolds, says that this is racially motivated by white Republicans. How do you respond to that?
Well, it's political hyperbole. It's nonsense. Nobody cares how Harris County voted. That was another rumor I just responded to. Nobody cares how people vote in HIC. This is all about the kids. This is about a board of trustees that's had problems in the state's largest school district for a decade. That's how long it took to get here. And we have to do the right thing for the future of the children that are coming on the process now, because quite frankly, if you went to Kashmir High School for the better part of a decade, you might not have even met a certified math teacher. If you went to Wheatley High School until recently, you might not have met even a certified English teacher. These are things that are symptoms of a problem, because HISD can't fail at that level. It just can't do it because it's too big to ignore. The state's largest school district is too big to ignore, and that's what it's about. It's about public policy. It's not about politics.
Moving forward, what is next now?
Well, what comes now is that there's going to be a board of managers period that could be 2 to 6 years, depending upon the progress and the milestones. Commissioner Morath has to put together his board of managers and announce those, but none of that will happen until June. So my message to the students and the parents and everyone else is to do your best, get the best education you can, because there will be improvements coming, from the board of directors, and I'm sure of that. And also, I think that some of these systemic corruption issues, like the FBI charging the chief operating officer and a trustee taking a plea deal on a lawn contract, those two people couldn't possibly have made all the things that happened to have a $7 million taxpayer scam happen. And all that corruption is going to be rooted out of the system. And I think that's going to be a positive benefit for everyone.